Hello and welcome to Epic Fables, the channel where we explore the wisdom of the ages and the stories that make life worth living. Today, we're going to talk about one of the most famous quotes from the civil rights era: "If you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything," by Malcolm X. This quote is a reminder that we all need to have a sense of purpose and principles in our lives, or we risk being manipulated and misled by those who do. In this video, we'll break down what this quote means and how we can apply it to our own lives. We'll also give you actionable steps that you can take to live a more meaningful and purposeful life. So, let's get started. Once upon a time, there was a young man named David. David was a talented musician and had dreams of becoming a famous rock star. However, he had never taken the time to think about what he really stood for. He was so focused on his music career that he didn't consider the impact he wanted to make in the world. One day, David was invited to a party by his friends. When he arrived, he noticed that there was a lot of alcohol and drug use going on. He felt uncomfortable, but he didn't want to be seen as a party pooper, so he joined in. Before he knew it, he was completely drunk and high. He woke up the next day feeling ashamed and embarrassed. He realized that he had fallen for something that he didn't really stand for. He didn't want to be known as a person who engaged in such activities, but he had compromised his principles for the sake of fitting in. After that experience, David started to question his own values and beliefs. He realized that he had never really taken the time to think about what he wanted to achieve in life. He started to read books, attend lectures, and talk to people who were living lives that he admired. He discovered that he was passionate about helping others and making a positive impact in the world. He decided to start a charity that would help underprivileged children get access to music education. He used his music skills to organize benefit concerts and fundraisers to support his cause. It wasn't always easy, but he felt a sense of purpose and meaning that he had never experienced before. He realized that when he stood for something, he had a sense of direction and motivation in his life. He knew what he wanted to achieve and what he was willing to fight for. After that experience, David started to question his own values and beliefs. He realized that he had never really taken the time to think about what he wanted to achieve in life. He started to read books, attend lectures, and talk to people who were living lives that he admired. He discovered that he was passionate about helping others and making a positive impact in the world. He decided to start a charity that would help underprivileged children get access to music education. He used his music skills to organize benefit concerts and fundraisers to support his cause. It wasn't always easy, but he felt a sense of purpose and meaning that he had never experienced before. He realized that when he stood for something, he had a sense of direction and motivation in his life. He knew what he wanted to achieve and what he was willing to fight for. So, what does David's story teach us about the quote, "If you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything"? Well, it's a reminder that we all need to have a sense of purpose and principles in our lives. Without them, we risk being manipulated and misled by those who have a different agenda. When we don't have a clear sense of what we stand for, we may find ourselves going along with things that we don't really believe in, just to fit in or please others. This can lead to feelings of guilt, shame, and regret. It can also prevent us from living the kind of life that we truly want. However, when we define our own values and beliefs, we have a sense of purpose and direction in our lives. We know what we want to achieve and what we're willing to fight for. This gives us a sense of integrity and authenticity that can't be bought or sold. We can live our lives according to our own standards, rather than someone else's. This can lead to a greater sense of fulfillment and satisfaction in our lives. So, what can you do to implement this quote in your own life? Well, the first step is to take some time to reflect on what you stand for. What are your values and beliefs? What kind of person do you want to be? What kind of impact do you want to make in the world? Write these things down and keep them somewhere visible. This will serve as a reminder to yourself and keep you grounded in your principles. The second step is to start living according to these values and beliefs. Make decisions that align with what you stand for, even if it's not the popular or easy choice. This will help you build a sense of integrity and authenticity that will serve you well in all areas of your life. It may not always be easy, but it will be worth it. In conclusion, if you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything is a powerful quote that reminds us of the importance of having a sense of purpose and principles in our lives. When we define what we stand for, we have a sense of direction and motivation that can't be bought or sold. So, take some time to reflect on what you stand for, and start living according to those values and beliefs. You'll be amazed at the difference it can make in your life. Thanks for watching Epic Fables, and we'll see you next time.